Welcome back to the Hood Knees Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 18, I think. If not, who cares? We're talking about week 4 waiver pickups. It's your host, Keem. I'm with my boy, MFB.
Wow.
No BBTB. Like we said, we cut him off the podcast for his stupid takes, so you won't ever see him again. Don't worry about him.
Straight up kicked him.
Easy peasy.
Apply on LinkedIn. Indeed, we got an opening.
Yeah, if anyone's interested in joining the podcast, bro, you will not see that fool on here ever again. So please apply, let us know, hit us up in the Discord. We're taking applications and we're doing interviews. Yeah. Let's go ahead and start with the waiver pickups, man. Number 1 for QB, Andy Dalton, man. He looked good out there. 4 passing touchdowns. He played lights out.
He did, bro. I mean, I called it early. I said Bryce Young bench week 4, got bench week 3.
Yep, that was.
Ain't mad at it, bro. The homie threw for 319 yards, right?
Yep.
Bryce Young has never had that total in his whole NFL career. Andy Dalton scored 24.6 fantasy points. Bryce's career high of fantasy points is 22.2.
Yeah, man, that just goes to show you. Like, and they brought Deontay Johnson in to help Bryce Young elevate him. Like, yo, bro, here's a weapon. They drafted Xavier Legette. They brought in Deontay Johnson. They made moves to make that offense better for Bryce Young. And he just proved to everyone that he is not a NFL franchise quarterback, man. He's a backup at best. And so Andy Dalton, I mean, he looked good. That offense, we're hoping continues to keep moving. Anyone out there that's a Panthers fan, I'm sorry, but I mean, hey, things are looking kind of nice with Andy
They got
Dalton.
a dub.
Hey, nice win, an excellent win. Next on the list, Sam Darnold, who I think is dealing with an injury right now. He left the game, or went to the sideline and came back in the game, finished the game out. They ended up winning that game, just smacking Houston. But he played well. He had 4 passing touchdowns, 181 yards. Sam Darnold, hey, man, he's playing a lot better than MFB thought. MFB was hating
definitely
on him.
proved me wrong, and he's proved me wrong like big time. He's the only QB with multiple pass touchdowns in every week.
Wow. Actually, I did not know that.
Yeah. So he's doing his thing, bro.
That Houston defense is a tough defense too. He played well.
I know, man.
He's got a nice test next week against Green Bay. But yeah, if you didn't pick up Darnold last week, keep your eye on his status. Just pick him up. Anyways, worst case scenario, he goes to your IR slot and he just hangs out there and you get to play him next week. I think actually he has a week 6 bye. So if they sit him out next week, he'll be back to play against the Jets at 6:30 a.m. I don't know where they're playing, probably in London or something.
London.
Yeah, something like that. Anyways, Sam Darnold, a solid waiver pickup, streaming option for QB if he plays next week. Next on the list is Aaron Rodgers, man. He's starting to find his footing there in the Jets offense, man. And he's doing what we wanted him to do last year. And against the Patriots, defense is actually pretty good. He looked pretty good out there.
He looks solid, bro. He's definitely like improving with the offense week to week, which is what you want to see in a QB. He is kind of highly rostered. He's in 51% in Yahoo, but if you still have him available, you need a QB. You need a bench QB for depth. I would definitely pick him up because he's getting more and more gelled with the Jets offense. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, great, just depth piece on your team, just in case something happens to your quarterback. Last week he had 2 pass touchdowns. He had 3 rush attempts for 18 yards. I didn't see the rush attempts that game, but I mean, hey, if Aaron Rodgers is running out there, great, man. Guy's old. He looks like he's 50, but he's still doing things on the ground. So that's good to hear, man. Good to see.
Yeah.
A bonus pickup, just keep your eye out on status for Russell Wilson, but Justin Fields is the bonus pickup. He played decent last week. He rushes a lot, right?
He does like to rush. I will say his rushing has, compared to previous seasons, has not been as good.
Right.
So keep that in mind, right? Because right now he's averaging 3.2 yards per rush attempt, and that number has not been below 5.3 during his first 3 seasons.
With the Bears, right?
So he kind of, I guess you could say, lost a step.
Yeah.
The Steelers are 3-0 with Justin Fields. So does the coach even start Russell Wilson? He's not really saying, right? But Mike Tomlin be playing games like that. Like, he's not going to let you know his next move.
Yeah.
So Justin Fields could be like a decent pickup. Maybe not a waiver claim, but still a decent pickup for the week.
I mean, in deeper leagues, he might be worth a waiver pickup. Like some people I know in a lot of
Deeper leagues,
like,
sure, yeah.
In deep people, man, people hoard quarterbacks sometimes, and they'll have like 2 quarterbacks in a league, and you might not have many options. So Justin Fields, look for him. It could be an option. He's been playing. I mean, they're 3-0 right now, so he's doing enough to get them wins, and he had a rush touchdown last week, so we hope to see that more in the coming weeks. Next, I think that's it for QBs. Let's move on to the wide receiver pickups this week. Obviously, number 1, Juwan Jennings.
Juwan motherfucker Jennings,
bro. If you didn't pick him up,
dog, man.
If you didn't pick him up last week, you kicking yourself for that, because that was a great game. He had
amazing game.
He was the best wide receiver last week. Played amazing. Yeah,
he's a 40% target share, bro. In a full PPR, he scored like 46.5 points. I will say, like, I mean, like, I think maybe it goes without saying, like, it's not going to happen again. And I think I dug up like some old stat, bro, and it's like the only receiver who has done that more than once is Julio Jones.
Okay.
One of the GOATs, of course, but
yep.
He could still be a good play if I think Debo should be missing more time with the calf strain. And Kittle will probably be back, but you know, he proved himself. Like, he proved himself to everybody. Like, he's going to be out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to say, especially if Kittle doesn't play next week, for sure, plug him in. He's easily flexible. He will get you at least double-digit points, is my guess. But yeah, definitely the number 1 wide receiver pickup. Next we have Andre Iosivas. Is that how you say it?
Yoshua.
What the Yoshua? What?
I learned how to pronounce his name, bro.
Bro, you can say his name. I'm just gonna look for him on the way. Yoshivas. There you go. All right, cool. Yeah. He did his thing this week, even with we had
T. Higgins back.
T. Higgins come back, that's right, for the Bengals, and he still did well. I mean, mind you, they did play the Commanders, but I mean, he had 5 receptions, 7 targets, 52 yards, and a touchdown, and he had 2 touchdowns the week before. So he seems to be an end zone target for Joe Burrow. So he's a good pickup, man, especially if he can keep this production up, even with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase out there, then he could be really worth having on your team.
Definitely a decent pickup for sure.
Yeah. Next on the list, we got Darnell Mooney, who seems to be gaining more and more attention from Kirk Cousins. He had 8 targets last week, 8 receptions, 66 yards. He didn't get a touchdown, fortunately, but 8 targets is nice to see from a waiver receiver. And in that offense with Kirk Cousins, they're still kind of getting their footing with Kirk Cousins, you know? He's still coming off that injury from last season. So I think that offense gets better, in my opinion.
It should get better. I'm just concerned about the play calling, bro. I think I mentioned in an episode before, like, the play calls and the offense in general is just so easy to read.
Yeah.
That like, they need to be more creative, bro. They got to get better on the ground game. It'll open up the pass game. But I agree with this pickup. Darnell Mooney's definitely solid. He definitely has a connection with Kirk Cousins. They ain't using Kyle Pitts, so
Yeah.
He looks to be the second passing option. Sorry, Kyle Pitts. You're a
Yeah.
tight end this year.
Sorry for
RIP all the
owners.
tight ends. So
Yeah. Sorry for those of you that picked up and drafted Kyle Pitts. Yeah, he still sucks. Um, Darnell Mooney, solid pickup. Next we got Alan Lazard, who got a touchdown last week. 3 targets, 3 receptions, 48 yards. So not many targets this week. He did get a long touchdown. New England gives up more yards, more long distance catches. I think he had a long catch for a touchdown. And they play Denver next week. So we talked about this in the previous episode. Garrett Wilson will probably get locked up by Pat Surtain.
Yeah.
So Aaron Rodgers is going to have to look elsewhere to move the ball. So Lazard could
definitely a decent next week play for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, and if you just need someone to plug in next week as a flex, he might be that option for you.
Yep.
Honorable mention, Jalen Naylor, who I think has had a touchdown every week so far this season. If I'm not mistaken, he had, a touchdown week 1, touchdown week 2, and a touchdown last week. He's not getting a lot of targets, but he is getting the end zone targets, and those are the ones that matter.
He's definitely slotted into the Addison role nicely.
Yep.
So that's definitely a good thing, but monitor Addison's status, right? If he doesn't play, Jalen Naylor's definitely a solid play.
Yeah. If Addison does come back and play, keep Naylor on your bench just to see how he plays with Addison in that offense. And does all the work just go straight to Addison and Naylor just gets completely phased out of the offense. He's probably more in like a deeper league, but you can't get any of these other guys. I would take a shot on Naylor just because he's been getting those end zone targets from Sam Darnold. And that offense is just moving great. So that's about it on the wide receiver pickups for the waivers. Let's move into running backs. Number 1 for the running backs, Bucky Irving, man. If you don't have him, go get him. We mentioned him last week. If you didn't get him, go get him. He's
definitely. He's already getting like more and more snaps, more and more shares. If you listen to the last episode, if not, I'll mention it again. The coach just came out and said he earned more shares after week 3, right?
Yep.
Quickly just going over his percentage of RB rushes. Week 1, 37%. Week 2, 41%. Week 3, 56%.
Hey,
so
over the
that ain't convincing
mark
enough to pick him up and you need an RB. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
We tried to tell y'all last week. If you missed the episode last week, he's still available. You got to grab.
Yeah. Tune in, guys. Make sure you hear these because these guys we might repeat the following week. So some of these guys that we're talking about this week, we might say it again next week. So you want to get these players now before the following week, because in the following week they'll be harder to get. Next we have Emmanuel Wilson. So he's the backup running back behind Josh Jacobs in Green Bay. He had 12 rush attempts on the ground for 50 yards, two receiving, 2 targets, 2 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown. I believe his touchdown was, it said it was midway in the third quarter on a 31-yard screen. And he got, he got a nice, they were kind of working Tennessee. So it felt like
they
more
were
of a
working Tennessee.
It was kind of a garbage time touchdown, but to see that he's being utilized in the offense, especially in deeper leagues where, if you're in a 14-man league, trust me, I'm in a 14-man league, running backs are hard to come by. And if he's on the waivers, he's only rostered in 3% of leagues, I would take a shot on him, pick him up, stash him, just see what he does.
Definitely a good pickup for the week as a handcuff RB, and with the Josh Jacobs rushing percentage trending downwards, like we said in the last episode.
Right. Next we have Braylon Allen, who we mentioned last week. So if you didn't pick up Braylon Allen last week, he's still on the waivers. Go pick him up.
I've been pushing and buying a lot of Braylon Allen myself. Just to quickly look at the rush share of Breece Hall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brees Hall's rush share week 1, 94%, week 2, 66, and week 3, 53%.
Uh-oh.
So, Braylon Allen has, I predicted, you could start him as a flex, and now he's kind of solidified as a flex start in a lot of leagues.
Yeah, he's definitely flex worthy. I would consider him in especially in deeper leagues where you have like 14-man leagues and things like that, where the RB landscape is pretty barren. Yeah, if you don't have Braylon Allen in your league, you should pick him up. Even let's say you're in a league where it's not a 14-man, you don't have that many RBs are readily available on the waivers. Anything happens to Brees Hall, Braylon Allen's stock skyrockets. He's going to be in every league picked up. So get him now while you can. If you can afford the bench spot, for sure you should have him. 100% he's worth it. Next we have Ray Davis from the Bills, who's playing behind
James Cook.
James Cook, that's right. He had a touchdown this week in Monday Night Football game. That game was kind of already out of hand, so I don't really know.
Definitely was. He's a great handcuff to have, though. In a really good offense. So, if you have space on the bench to hold him, in case anything happens, I would definitely snag him up.
Yeah. Definitely worth a pickup. A couple more names here. Just we're throwing these in there. These are from more deeper leagues. Roshan Johnson from the Bears. He, looked better than Swift. DeAndre Swift, I'll tell you that. So he might be worth a pickup just to see. Because I don't know. Can you pull up the depth chart actually, MFB? Is he the third string? Because I think it's DeAndre Swift and there's someone else in between him and DeAndre
Khalil
Swift.
Herbert.
That's right. Khalil Herbert's second string. So, he played well. He got a lot of catches. He had 5 targets, 4 receptions for 32 yards, and 8 rush attempts for 30 yards. So he's only rostered in 2% of leagues. He may be worth a pickup. Just like I said, in deeper leagues. And then also Rico Dowdle. Zeke didn't do anything last game. Rico had more of the work. So he had, I'm not sure about snap percentage, but he had 8 rush attempts for 32 yards. And then he had 5 targets, 3 receptions, 24 yards. So he could start to take more touches away from Zeke. And we could see that if he's the better back, the more explosive back, they might just start leaning on Rico Dowdle more than Zeke. Although I think Zeke will take the goal line touches. Still, if he can break away for a rush, a long run, that could be worth it. That's about it for the running back pickups. Next, we're going to get into tight ends, which there's not many.
Oh boy.
Yeah, oh boy, indeed. Cole Kmet leads the tight end pickups just because he had that big game. It looks like
crazy monster game.
Yeah. With just the way that the tight ends are looking this year, I don't know how much you can trust any of these guys, but right now, you don't really have a choice. You're probably looking for a tight end right now. You probably don't like who you have on your team. He had 11 targets, 10 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown last week. If you can get that out of a tight end, you're happy. So, does he do that same performance again? Maybe, probably not. But if he can, you're going to be plenty happy with that.
He possibly might be more involved. I just like the numbers that we mentioned last episode of his routes ran per dropback, right? So that share has gone up. Last week it hit 70% on routes ran. So it's definitely a number that you like to see. It's a number that could translate to fantasy points at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yeah, so Cole Kmet, number 1 pickup. Next on the list, we have Mike Gesicki, who we mentioned last week. He didn't get a touchdown, but he had 91 yards against the Chiefs. He had 47 yards today in the loss to Washington on the Monday night game. 4 receptions. So, hey, in the grand
scheme
guys,
of it's tight ends, Mark Andrews getting 0, Sam Laporte getting 2, 5 points. It's like twice that, bruh. So just pick him up.
It's infinitely more than what Mark Andrews is giving you. So, Mike Gesicki, if he's still on the waivers, just pick him up, man. He can't do worse than Mark Andrews. All right, so go get him. There's also Zach Ertz, who, like we mentioned before, Jaden Daniels is becoming more accurate with his throws. And so if you can connect with Zach Ertz, especially in the end zone, I mean, if your tight end can get you a touchdown, I think
you're living the good life.
Bro, I don't even know. We need to find the stat. How many tight ends had a touchdown last week? Because it's probably not more than 5.
Goddard, Komet, Brenton Strange.
Is that about it?
No, Kincaid got one.
Kincaid got a touchdown, yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot, bro, but I'm just like, that's off the top of my head.
Bro, yeah, I mean, you had Conklin got one, but like, I mean, come on. Like, Conklin? Who the hell started Conklin? In a deep league, maybe. But yeah,
probably his family member, maybe, or some shit. I don't know.
Someone that loves him.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Zach Ertz, he like I said, Jaden Daniels game more accurate. Could be a lot more valuable as especially if he gets in the end zone. One more name to put out there, Noah Fant in the Seattle offense. I mean, that offense last game, that offense is moving. Fant is like a desperation pickup. Like all the other tight ends are taken. You can look at Noah Fant if you really want to. I don't want to, but yeah, he just threw him in there because he had 6 receptions, 6 targets, 60 yards. Lots of 6s in there, kind of creepy. But anyways, decent enough for a tight end. I would bench him if you pick him up, but I don't think I'd waste a waiver claim on Noah Fant, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely not. Are we done with the tight ends yet, bro?
Yes, we are. We're done with tight ends. We're just going to go over some defenses to stream and some kickers. Just, dude, I'm be honest. I had 6 points from my defense and kicker last week. And that just, like, we have people who are getting like 15 plus points from their defense or 15 plus points from their kicker. Like, so we have to mention defense and kickers. If they become just irrelevant, we'll stop talking about defense and kickers. But for right now, they're becoming really important.
Well, I'll admit we're not too hot on our defense picks so far. Week 3, I think we recommended 4 defenses, and only one of them hit. So I hope you started Green Bay and listened.
Yeah.
So that was an amazing one. The rest of them, Raiders D probably got you negative. I'm so sorry if you did that.
Oh man, dude. Hey, I think I said something.
Was also a bad play, and I took Tampa Bay in some leagues, and it hurt me.
I think I said that the Raiders. Maybe I just thought it, but I was like, dude, if anyone's going to lose to the Panthers, the first team to lose to the Panthers, it would be the Raiders.
It was the Raiders. Yeah, I 100% would agree with you. Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I just
called that.
Yeah.
But anyways, who do we got this week for them?
Defenses, it's funny enough, we have Miami who's playing against Tennessee, and like I mentioned last week, Will Levis, like I mentioned for the Green Bay pickup, Will Levis just finds a way
just doing like 360 no scope, whatever, bro. Like on the
craziest.
He'd be slide canceling, bro.
He's doing some crazy stuff out there on the field. Play the Miami defense. The defense this week for Miami is probably the best part of the team right now since the offense can't move.
Oh yeah. And so alternatively, play Tennessee.
Play Tennessee Miami, defense against Miami, who's now on
no QB out there, pretty much.
Bro, they're on their 3rd string quarterback, man. And Tyreek Hill can always break away for a bomb touchdown, but that's about it. And
yeah, if the 3rd string could throw it to him.
Dude, he just has to chuck it, man. I really thought Tyreek would be okay. I really thought that the QB was just going to launch it and Tyreek was just going to find it. Like, just throw it and hope Tyreek finds it. But yeah, they could do that. So if you want to take a shot on Tennessee, I'd preferably take Miami over Tennessee, but if you can't get them, Tennessee, I think you can play them against Miami. Houston plays Jacksonville, who we saw was terrible tonight against the Bills. So yeah. So pick up the Houston.
Definitely a top play if they're available.
Houston's due for a bounce back after that L they took this last week. They got absolutely smacked. So pick up the the Houston defense. They should do well for you. Kickers, real quick. We're just going to name a couple off. Chris Boswell. He should be able to put up a good number of points. I forget who they play. Let me pull that up because that actually has an effect. But they play against the Colts. So if they can move up the field enough and the Colts can stop in the red zone, it's just going to go to Boswell. Because, I mean, Mike Tomlin will just get the win. I mean, he's got 3 wins with Justin Fields. They will win, even if they're just kicking the field goals. That's how they won the first game. It was 6 field goals for the dub. They'll do it again. And Anthony Richardson's not playing that well, so they might not even need to score touchdowns. They could just do field goals. Matt Prater for the Arizona Cardinals. I love the Cardinals. That's my team. So obviously you have to take Matt Prater. No, I'm kidding. Matt Prater, I mean, the Cardinals offense is moving. They're playing against Washington. I think you can play Matt Prater with confidence, and he'll get you hopefully double-digit points, which is what you want from your kicker. Last but not least, Cairo Santos, the Bears. If he's on the Bears, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. I just wanted to make sure I don't want to misguide people. But yeah, Cairo Santos. I mean, the playing against the Rams. The Rams is their offense is not going to be on the field very often. So I think that if the Bears can just get some field goals in, I think they could do it. These are just shots in the dark, some of them. But yeah, if you like any of these guys, pick them up. If you don't know who to start, just pick up one of these 3 and good luck. I hope they can get you double digits. If not, sorry.
Yep.
But that's about it for the waiver episode. Guys, make sure you're listening to these pickups and also join the Discord, because if you have questions, you might say, hey, in my league, this guy's available. Do I pick him up? We'll tell you if it's worth a waiver claim or not. So make sure you let us know. Reach out to us before tomorrow night when waivers go through, and we'll answer your questions to the best of our abilities.
Be active in the Discord. Got trade channels.
Yep.
Sit and start channels.
Yep. Some of us
channels. Feel me? It's getting active. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Check out the podcast, Spotify, YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Tune in, guys. Listen to what we have to say. There's a lot of good information here. If you guys message us during the day, some of us have 9 to 5s. Those of us that don't have 9 to 5s will be maybe more active. So, anyways, if you end up not liking our responses, there's 3 of us. So hopefully one of us will get back to you and you'll have a better answer. But also, I mean, guys, we're telling you the information that we have in these episodes. These are kind of like our best guess. If you don't like the options we give you, that's why we have the Discord. So you come out and say, well, actually, I think this, and that. Discuss with us, guys. We're human.
Come through, argue with us, bro.
Yeah. You guys can fight with MFB and BBTB. He's off the podcast, but he's still in the Discord somewhere.
Yeah, we fired his ass.
Anyways, that'll do it for the waiver episode. Tune in next time. We'll talk about the next week's matchups. Yeah, so, yeah, take care. Until next time, guys. Peace.